Just like to offer a big shout out to Touchdown Digital, the sponsor of this week's video. Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Glenn Samuel. Thank you for joining me here at Sniper Photography. Today I want to talk to you about books, photography books, and why I think they're important for you to own. Now, I read a lot of books, probably 30 to 35 books a year, predominantly on photography, landscape photography and other types of photography such as commercial photography. That's how I earn a living. But also read books about goal setting, philosophy, and books about people that have achieved greatness from virtually nothing. But today I want to talk to you about 3 books about photography which I think if you don't have either in your library, on your bookshelf, on your coffee table, on your nightstand, whatever, I think you're doing yourself an injustice. Now, these 3 books are absolutely outstanding, and by 3 of probably the greatest landscape photographers that I've known in my time. Now, I'll start with the first book, which is from a US-based photographer and editor called Scott Kelby, and it's called The Landscape Photography Book. Now, Scott Kelby is a fantastic photographer, and this is a great book to read. It's quite funny to read, actually. He puts humour into every page. He talks about everything from, equipment right up to composition, HDR and panos. He talks about, here's the f-stop to use. You'll need to shoot in manual mode. How to do light painting. You want the clouds moving. The moon is your enemy. Check the weather, of course you're going to need a cloudless clear sky too. This is how he writes in this book. It's an absolutely fantastic book to read. It's only a small book. But Scott Kelby, he is also the editor of lightroomkillertips.com, and he's got a website, but I'll put all that information in the description box below. The landscape photography book by Scott Kelby is probably designed for people that are just starting out in photography or at the intermediate stage of their progression or their skill level in photography. That's it there. The landscape photography book by Scott Kelby, a really great read. And I love books. Books just never go out of date. The things he talks about here, when to switch to spot metering, which metering mode to use, camera settings and lenses from basic, all the way up to landscape recipes. That's a great read. So Scott Kelby is just absolutely fantastic. A great editor too, and a great writer. He puts it in a format which it's very easy to understand, and anyone can pick up this book and read it. It is really, really good to read. And but that's for really people that are just starting out or just gone to that intermediate level. Even seasoned photographers can pick it up and have a read. But Scott Kelby, fantastic fellow. He's on YouTube as well, and also his website. But I'll put all those details in the description box below. The next one is from Charlie Waite. Charlie Waite is a UK-based landscape photographer. Charlie Waite, this is the book here. Okay. A unique blend of practical tips and inspirational insights. Charlie Waite, Englishman, he's got this voice which, a bit like Michael Caine or Russell Crowe, you can just listen to them all day. And Charlie Waite's no different. He's also on YouTube. He's been on there. If you ever get a chance, Google Charlie Waite and listen to him the way he talks, and especially about his photography. In this book, he doesn't talk about camera gear and equipment. It's not necessarily important to know. So he talks about making something strange, catching the exact moment, the sky's great finale, something over which the eye can roam, the complementary and the different. These are the subjects in this book, and it's just an incredible read. When I started reading this, I just couldn't put the thing down. I've read this book 3 times. It's just incredible. It's out of print now, so it's an out of print publication. I brought this secondhand from Amazon, and it came out of the UK, come from London. But Charlie Waite is just a superb superb narrator, and he's also a stage actor for plays in the UK. Fantastic fellow, and great to listen to. You can listen to him all day. But this book from Charlie Waite, The Making of Landscape Photographs, is a must-have, a must-own, and a must-read. It's just a beautiful book to read, and you'll be kicking yourself once you pick this book up. You think, why didn't I buy this book earlier? It's just an incredible thing to read. Sensational photography, but catching the exact moment. Water is something beautiful in itself. These sky and the landscape, these subjects are just written with love, really. It's just an incredible book, seriously. Charlie Waite, The Making of Landscape Photographs, one of the greats. The next one, and we've gone to another level. This book is just, I believe, the Bible. And it's called The Art, Science and Craft of Great Landscape Photography, second edition by Glenn Randall. Now, our American viewers here will know who Glenn Randall is. He's a US-based photographer, travelled the world photographing some of the best regions of the world and faraway places, mind you. Now, this is it here. It's a big, heavy book. Okay. Retails for about $80, this book, but it's worth every cent. Glenn Randall is almost a professor of photography. This book goes into intricate detail about light, how to use light, the subject of light, the colours of light, when to use it, when not to use it, how to use it. This is, I believe Glenn Randall is the epitome of landscape photographers, especially his skill level is far beyond anything that I know. And I've been around some time. But this gentleman, Glenn Randall, is just, that's him there. This book, the subject in this book are just, and it's a beautiful publication. Just looking at it, it's just a magnificent book to read and to pick up and enjoy. You just enjoy reading this book and the other two. But digital capture and processing of high contrast scenes, just the things he talks about, like this here, the art and science of composing compelling images. This man has, look at this. This is an education. This book is university graded as far as I'm concerned. It is just absolutely spectacular. He talks about a thing called the Rembrandt solution, and I know what that is, and I knew about the Rembrandt solution before I even purchased this book some time ago. But just absolutely incredible photography, but just something that I think, the art and science of light. These three books, you will learn from them regardless of what you know. I often say photography is like an apprenticeship, you'll never finish it, okay? Now, I don't know everything about photography. I know enough to make a living from it and how to enjoy it personally. I know enough to teach people, to stand up in front of photography club members and talk about landscape photography. But when it comes to the intricate details, Glenn Randall has nailed it. This bloke has just hit it out of the park. Now, you can buy this new. I got this on Amazon as well. But just absolutely, once you pick this book up, you'll think, my God, I didn't know this. I didn't know this existed. But one thing about books is that they never go out of date. And I've got probably over 640 books in my library here in this in the house here. And I love books. People say, oh, you can get it on Kindle, Glenn, you can look it on your phone, computer, iPad, laptop, whatever. But there's something about picking up a book, like the smell of it. Just absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And I love books. I can go and pick it up anytime, whenever I want. I don't have to make sure that my laptop or iPad's charged to read a book through Kindle. You don't need any of that. And if you don't have at least one of these books, I think you're doing yourself an injustice, quite frankly, because they are just fantastic to own. And you can pick them up anytime, as I said, and just read them whenever you want to. You can brush up on your skills with either of these 3 books, but I'll put all the links to these books in the description box below. I believe in these books, and as I said earlier, I think you're doing yourself an injustice if you don't have them. They are fantastic to read, and they're put together brilliantly, and you've got to appreciate the skill of a tradesperson. And these 3 gentlemen, they are skilled people, and it shines and comes through in their publications. So they're the books: The Landscape Photography book by Scott Kelby, Charlie Waite, The Making of Landscape Photographs, and The Art and Science and Craft of Great Landscape Photography, 2nd edition by Glenn Randall. Absolutely superb. So that's it. As I said, I'll put the description of these books down below. Let me know what you think of this video. If you do buy one of these books, please come back to me and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts or read your thoughts on any of these 3 books. As I said, I've got plenty of books here I can talk about, a lot of Ansem Adams publications as well, which I will do in the near future. But these 3 books I thought I'd start off with, and well worth the money, well worth your time in buying these three books, at least 1 or 2 of them anyway. So, but if I was you, I'd buy 3 of them because I've got them and they never go out of date. So that's it. We're coming into Christmas time now. We're only about 3 or 4 days away from Christmas now. I'd like to wish everyone again a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. We're coming towards the end of 2022. It's been a good year, been a busy year, and just hope that 2023 is great for each and every one of us. So that's it. Thank you for joining me here at Sniper Photography. As I always say, please be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all you, keep smiling and keep shooting. Bye for now.